Hey guys, just a quick catch up. Sorry, it's night time here. We're in the van. We haven't posted a video in a couple of days or a week. We didn't break down, but we've had issues with the van. We weren't getting charging from our alternator. We've had everything done, rebuilt in the van. We've done the whole interior, exterior. We had the engine rebuilt. We just thought we were Bruce Willis. We thought we were unbreakable, but we didn't have the alternator looked at because it was charging the battery. But anyway, we were getting spikes and dips, and it was because the voltage wasn't so regular, it was just up and down. It wasn't kicking in our auxiliary battery charger, which means our auxiliary battery wasn't getting charged at all. And when you're driving 10 hours a day with your fridge, we have a pretty large size fridge here, and you're getting no charge, and then after the fourth day our battery was almost done. So we realised that was broken. It was our voltage regulator. So now we're in Alice Springs to get it to a mechanic, because that's literally the only mechanic where we are now. We're in the middle of Australia. That took a couple of days to arrive in. We were just going to change the whole alternator for one of them decent massive 90 amp alternators, but it's a $400 part here in Australia. It was going to cost us $800 to ship it to us. Crazy. So we got the guys to just change the voltage regulator, also put some new cabling into the little black plastic power box that then goes through to the front of the van. So now we're getting 14 volts, 14.5, 14.3, I don't know, but fantastic. We also said, he didn't want to look at my fuel tank, but I said, can you just have a look, talking about the screw. He said, well, I'll just dip a magnet in, see if I can dig it out quickly. Anyway, what he dug out was just clumps of rust, just really fine black rust. But he said, mate, this is not good. So we then realised it wasn't the screw that was giving us issues, it was this rust just going through the system. So obviously it's not going into our engine, but it's clogging up our fuel filter and our fuel pump at the same time. We've just had a fuel filter fitted 4 weeks ago, so we thought we were good, but not good. Anyway, so long story short, we got it into another mechanic. If you're ever in Alice Springs, it was A1 Mechanics. These guys did 4 hours labour, charged us only 2 and a bit hours, which thank God, because labour here is like $140 an hour or something stupid like that. But there's a guy behind the counter called Yogi, really nice guy. There was a largest guy there that was just an absolute fool. I tried to explain to him, because they don't know anything about VW, so I tried to say, listen, if you can do this, this and this, the tank drops down really easy. And he said, mate, we're not idiots, we know what we're doing. I was like, all right, mate, I'm just trying to help, so the job's cheaper for me in the long run. But anyway, they didn't want to listen to me, and then they struggled to take it down, and then they told me that it was a really hard job and this, that and the other, when I know it's not. But you can't argue with these people. The guy was really unpleasant to deal with, but in the end they didn't charge me a lot of money, so by all means I'll take a little bit of abuse and an idiot if they're not going to charge me a lot and they do the job. So the proper job is to fill a new tank to it. Obviously if there's rust in it, but I can't even find a supplier in Australia that has a new tank at the moment. So, and even if they did, getting one to where we are, it means staying here 3 weeks or something. We've been here 5 days already. It's a nice place, desert town, there's nothing here. 1-2 days, perfect, but we're just spent on it. Anyway, we spent a fair bit of money getting these repairs done, but we're back on the road. New fuel pump, new fuel filter, all these things we carry in our spare parts. So please, if you're going to do some long trips in the middle of nowhere, take some spare stuff with you. We knew possibly we might need to change our fuel filter, not because of rust, but it started to make a loud whining noise. So I'm so glad that we had one here, because when he took it to the guys and they said, listen, your pump or your filter, hang on, boom, got one from the roof, there, got the part straight away, let's just get it fitted. And I could have fitted it myself, but we were, it was in the mechanic, so just do it. So always good to have spare parts with you, which is rule number one. It sounds pretty obvious, but rule number two, if you're doing anything with your fuel inlet, just put a rag in there. I know it's super simple, but when you're under a bit of pressure and rushed, we made some simple mistakes. And anyway, so that's the reason we haven't posted a video, because we've just been frantically calling different suppliers, trying to get parts here and what we could get, and then trying to get into mechanics and cooking in the heat. So warm here. So we're now back on the road. So we're in a campsite for tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to head back to Uluru, go and see DESRT, and just start enjoying ourselves again. So you know, you will find these problems when you're traveling in a van that potentially it's going to be an issue. You know, we thought we would be good because we've had so much work done to the van, but we still carried a lot of spare parts just in case, and I'm so glad now that we did. You know, it's unfortunate about our tank. Now obviously we know we need a new tank, but at the moment all the rust is out for now. I understand that it's going to keep re-rusting, but it's at least going to be good enough for us to travel, you know, a fair distance in the future, and we'll just probably take a few fuel filters to keep replacing out, and then we'll put the new fuel tank on at a later date. So that's where we're at pretty much. You're going to run into these issues. All you can do is try and be calm and deal with it. We're so glad now it's all over and we've fixed all those issues. For the last couple of days it's just been frantic and we're worried about the money and everything else, but it's been expensive because of where we are, but in the long run I think we're happy with how we managed to do it. So that's been us. It's a little bit of a boring video, not really much going on, but it's just an infill of what we've been doing. All the next videos, you know, are going to be all the beautiful sights and the things we're seeing. So you know, thank you to all the new subscribers. We've had some new guys come in. You know, it's fantastic. I hope you enjoy some of the videos we've posted. I'm not sure if you'll enjoy this one, but this is van life. You know, this is living it. This is what happens from time to time. So always good to just be prepared and have the parts, and you know, sometimes you've got to go through some low points to get to the high points. So anyway, thanks again. We'll post some videos soon of some cool stuff, and we'll catch you guys soon. So we made it here to Alice Springs. The van's still running perfectly, which is nice. We've still got to have that tank looked at, but here we are, into the middle. Yeah, so we just picked up the van. We've had all the engine cleaned out. This is the guys we took it to.
The fuel tank.
The fuel tank. We'll explain about it a little bit later, but we finally picked it back up, which is running well. So now we can get on with our trip.
I can give it all on the first day.